Hello, I am Dale from Dale's Gig Reviews and Metalliville online magazine, and I'm joined by the super talented Cassidy Paris. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. How are you, Dale?
I'm good. I should do the proper Australian greeting, g'day,
G'day. Yeah, exactly. That's very on brand for an Aussie.
I've got me sea creature top on because you live near the coast, don't you? So I've got like sea creatures. I interviewed Temptress a couple of days ago, and I had one with big dinosaurs on it because you have rather large creatures that roam around Australia, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yeah, I mean, even in the ocean, like sharks are definitely a big thing in Aussie land over here. But we do have some nice Well, we have a lot of nice creatures, but yeah, it looks like it's kind of like I thought it was a snake before, but now I'm realizing it's like an octopus on your
Yes,
t-shirt or your
yes,
shirt.
it's a big
Um,
giant octopus. Yes, yeah.
Yes. Snakes are the only ones that I'm not so friendly with. Every other animal I love. But yeah, snakes and I don't get along too well. We just stay away from each other, which is fine with me. And I'm hoping that
I'm opposite. It's the spiders for me, and you've got some rather big huntsmans, and
yeah.
they'd make me shriek like a little girl and run the opposite direction.
Yeah, look, me and the spiders, I'm not a big spider fan either. But yeah, look, I would rather have someone else attend to the spider if it had to be, removed. But yeah, I try to stay away from those kind of things. And generally speaking, now that I've said this, I'm sure it'll change tonight for some reason. But I haven't seen any recently. So, and it's been quite warm here recently. So. That's a good
Yeah,
thing, I guess.
it's quite chilly here today, but and I'm sat here in a short sleeve shirt. I'm sure I'll be fine. I'll live through this interview.
That's great. Yeah, I know. I was on a run earlier today and it was really warm and I was thinking to myself, I think it's going to be a lot easier to run when I'm in the UK later this year. That'll make my running a little bit easier.
I don't think you're going to be doing much running on your Monsters of Rock cruise, though.
I won't be doing a heap of running. Maybe on stage, actually.
Yeah.
Anyone that's seen a live show, the reason I run so much is obviously because my live show is very energetic and I'd like to keep it high energy where I can. So that's why I've been doing a lot of training. This year is very exciting for me. It's like my most jam-packed year in terms of touring I've ever had. And some of the opportunities that I have this year are just things that I have been dreaming of since I was a little girl. So I'm trying, my best to get in my best possible shape and put forward the best possible show for everyone to see with Cassidy Paris.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Monsters of the Rock cruise, you've got the Darkness, who are incredible. If you've never seen them, they're so good live.
I
Um,
have seen The Darkness live. Yes, they're
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. And of course, you've got British Lion, which is Iron Maiden's Steve Harris, which I'm very jealous that you'll probably be meeting him, and I've still not met him. Um, That's Lita Ford, Vixen. I've got on the wall up there, and they're on the cruise with you. And you've got Striper, Soto Ellefson. I interviewed David Ellefson. He's a really cool guy. So you've got all
Oh.
these wonderful stars on this cruise. How much of this cruise is going to be work, and how much is it going to be drinking and meeting?
Well, I don't drink very much, so that's a really odd thing to say. What I've worked out as a rock musician. When I say that to people, people go, "Are you really a rock and roll musician if you don't drink?" But my way of thinking of it is, it's just to protect my voice mostly.
Yeah.
And I try to, like I said, I'm really into health and fitness and lifestyle like that. And I do try to keep the drinking to a minimum. But if Lita Ford or Michael Sweet asked me for a drink, I might have one. But yeah, look, like I said before, this entire year is literally Monsters of Rock included. Like I remember looking at the Monsters of Rock as a fan with my parents to go on it a couple of years ago, just because we were so, like we love the artists that play on this bill. And I remember when receiving, the email and just thinking to myself, what kind of world am I living in that I get to play with like the people I grew up on? And I just feel really privileged. I'm very excited. The whole Monsters of Rock crew have been so lovely to me and the team, and I can't wait to go out there and do our thing.
Yeah, it does sound extremely cool. Um,
Yeah.
so you did an album, New Sensation in 2023, and your
Yeah.
new album is Bittersweet, which is what you're going to be promoting and going on tour,
Yeah.
performing. I've got to say the maturity for Bittersweet come in the voice, not in yourself, in your voice. Um, from New Sensation to Bittersweet, you can see how much you've grown as a vocalist, and
Thank you.
you're sounding. It's a huge compliment. You're sounding very much like Hailstorm,
Oh.
especially your new single, "Nothing Left to Lose." Your voice in that is absolutely brilliant. Really good.
Thank you so much for saying that, Dale. Like to be even mentioned in the same sentence as Lizzie Hale is just such a compliment, and I really appreciate that. I grew up listening to her and watching her every second I could. Like a lot of people obviously have that person that they really just want to be like, and Lizzie was that person for me. Like I had posters of a hailstorm all over my room, and yeah, just to be able to be mentioned in the same sentence as her is just unbelievable. So thank you for saying that, firstly. But yeah, look, with Bittersweet, I feel like it was a natural progression for me. I think with New Sensation, the first record, something that I really was quite passionate about was that I wanted to kind of put together a record where there's a little bit of everything. And I feel like as an artist, that's something that's kind of staple for me now. Even with Bittersweet, there are some songs that are like very different on that record. You've got things like Give Me Your LOVE, which is a little bit more tongue in cheek, and then you've got Nothing Left to Lose, which is my heaviest song to date. So I feel like there's a little bit of everything for someone that's listening to the record as a rock music fan for the first time, and I'm really excited for the future because the response to Bittersweet was unbelievable, and I just feel super grateful and lucky.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very good album. I have got a Hailstorm CD. I have got a Hailstorm album. Could I hell else find it for this? Because I usually put things behind me which is appropriate for the singer. I have looked
Yeah.
everywhere and I cannot find them. And I'm getting really frustrated. It's like, I have got them. So I've got some female vocalists. So obviously I've got Lita Ford, and then I've got Heart, which is who I grew up listening. I mean, that album is fantastic. Bad Animals. If you've never listened to it, and
Wow.
English star Cassidy, who is one of my favourite singers. I'll be hopefully seeing her again in about 3 months' time. And she's
Fantastic.
got a tremendous voice. I love female vocalists. I grew up listening to female vocalists, thanks largely to my dad, who would play me artists that you probably would never have heard of because they're like really like because I'm old and my
Oh,
dad
you know
obviously.
what? My dad has been pretty good in terms of like the whole music schooling thing. I do know a fair bit of that kind of stuff, but obviously I'm always learning and listening to new things that I've never heard of before. But I can see a sneaky fire heart. I'm pretty sure is it an EP in the background?
It's
Um,
their first single that they released.
their
It's a
first single, right?
double A single, and what you can't
Yeah.
really see is that little cassette there, which I thought I'd put in as a bit of a funny one. Um,
Uh-huh.
I'll I'll just grab it for you. You'll probably have a giggle at this.
Spice Girls. I love the Spice Girls. Oh my goodness. That's so cool. And you know what? Female fronted as well. I love that. You've
Yeah,
really
it's
thought of
my
it.
favourite Spice Girls single as well, Viva Forever, the one that Jerry Halliwell last sang with the group. So, oh God,
Very
I've just lost any cool points. I've just lost, haven't I? That's terrible.
That's okay. No, I'm really looking forward to I know you've got the Fireheart
Yeah,
single in the background, so I'll just mention that. I'm really looking forward to getting out on the road with the boys. I've known them or a couple of them going on maybe 3 or 4 years. And I'm really stoked to be able to have them a part of this because they're just, they seem like the loveliest guys and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And they're
yeah.
a great band. The music's killer. That's what I love about it.
Well, I met Kev Baker about a year and a
Kev,
half
yeah,
ago,
Kev's a good
and
friend.
I met him at KK Steel Mill at Wolverhampton, and straight away he just come across as the nicest person. And we've stayed in touch since then. I've even done a mental health interview with him as well on my YouTube channel, because obviously he's suffered greatly with his mental health and other issues, and so have I. So we thought it'd be nice to do a thing about mental health.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I first interviewed them again and, by writing the questions and sending it to them. And then the new guitarist, I interviewed him properly and I think it was his first ever interview, and he was a little bit nervous, bless him. But I can't wait to see. I'll be seeing them in a couple of weeks on their headline tour. Then I'll be seeing them
Very
again when they're supporting you. So very much
awesome.
looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Yeah, and you know what? What I love about Kev is that he's like a beacon of light, that man. He is just so open and honest, and I just really love being around energy like that. So it's going to be a really fun tour. I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
Yeah. Well, the other band that's supporting you is Powell Payne, and I
Yes.
actually interviewed Adam Payne last night. I saw him singing at Cozy Powell Birthday Bash again at KK Steel Mill, and
Hmm.
I didn't know who he was, and he came on stage, and I don't know if you've listened to him. His voice
I
is
have. Awesome.
phenomenal. You know,
Yeah.
he's one of the best singers I think I've ever listened to. His voice was just so good. So I
Yeah.
thought I need to speak to this guy. So I managed to get an interview, and of course it all ties in because he's supporting you, and Fireheart is supporting you on your UK tour, and now I'm interviewing you. So it's like a whole circle.
Absolutely. Yeah. And look, Power Pain again, like it's great to be able to go on tour with a fellow Frontiers band. And like you said before, he's just got an unreal voice. And for me, it's all about, quality acts. And these bands are just absolutely unreal. And I can't wait to quality acts and also good people is a really big thing for me and the entire band. Obviously, I'll also mention Pete Newdeck. So those that are familiar with Vega, yeah, he's gonna be the Cassidy Paris drummer, which I am stoked about.
Yeah,
And is just the most lovely guy you would ever come across. So professional, so good at what he does, and just so fun to be around. And that's the kind of energy that I want going into 2026 for sure. And, we've got Vinny Tex on bass as well. And he's a Brazilian bass player, which is super fun. And my dad has returned to guitar where he rightfully belongs.
yeah. Well, that's the next thing I was going to talk to you about was your dad, who was obviously your guiding star sort of thing, and who's been educating you and pointing you in the right direction. How much of an influence has he been for you?
My dad is just, when I do get a bit emotional about it sometimes when I speak about it because we've been through so much together in the past, last year, and he has always been that one consistent for me in my life. When I was at my worst and really felt like I couldn't do it, he was the person who, held my hand through the entire situation. And it really reminds you that, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're always gonna need your parents. And obviously, he really respects my independence, and but he has always been there for when I needed it. And my dad, he's had such an influence on me since a young age. I grew up listening to his music and watching shows that he played, but he also exposed me to a variety of music as well. Like we went to Kiss and AC/DC and Aerosmith, and I listened to Dio on the way to school, to primary school sometimes, and we'd harmonize, and he taught me everything I know, basically in music. So I'm very grateful to have him on the stage with me, and it's just been such a fun experience with him so far.
Yeah, because he's obviously a seasoned pro, isn't he? Your dad
Yes,
says, if I pronounce his surname correctly, Steve Janevsky. Is that correct?
Janevsky. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he were in Wicked Smile, Radio Sun, and Black Majesty, and probably various other bands which I've not mentioned. So
Yeah.
he's definitely the seasoned pro and probably the right person to have on your side.
Exactly. And you know what? For me, it's about having those professionals on board as well. Like, I think it's that combination of professionalism and being a good person. And I'm really, really stoked about this lineup. It's going to be so much fun. I think people are really going to vibe the entire show. We've put so much effort into making this happen, and also to giving back to people after what happened last time. Like, obviously that was very much out of my control, and I was devastated when that happened. So I just want to, I'm ready to kick ass and show people what I've got on this tour.
Yeah. So if you'd like to let us know what happened, because I'm not altogether clear on the event.
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't really speak too much on it because obviously remaining professional is a big thing for me. But, it was very disappointing what happened, and I was absolutely shattered, as was my father. And, I think to have the rug pulled out from you financially, personally, and, in every aspect of your life, essentially, is just it completely turns your life upside down. And for, a good few weeks, like I could not get out of bed. I really struggled mentally. And, when you don't have control over those sort of things, it's really difficult because I have always been someone that kind of takes control of my life and, really puts in so much effort to making sure that these shows are fantastic for people to watch. And I was training so hard for them. But I think people see it for what it is, and people, the truth comes out eventually. And I'm very aware of that. But I'm looking forward to moving forward and being stronger with everything.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing when you suffer um, hurdles in life which trip you up, is you come back bigger and stronger.
That's it.
As Kevin's showing it with Fireheart, as I'm showing with because I'm disabled. I became a train driver. I was, got to where I wanted to be in life, and things happened, and then ill health happened, and depression happened, and here I am bouncing back, and I'm interviewing people like yourself, and
Exactly.
it's incredible, how you can change things around and you come back as that stronger person. And
Yeah,
so,
that's it.
yeah, but
Exactly. I actually started reading this. I'll get it out because it's literally right here. I started reading this book actually, and excuse my French, it's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a, and then bleep. But it really does go into what you were saying as well. Like you have to kind of push forward, and all these hurdles in life, you know, everything happens for a reason, is what I'm learning. And I really can feel that in every aspect of my life now, and I'm in a really, really good place, and I'm very, very excited for the future. I think that sometimes life is going to throw you some curveballs, and you've just got to try and make it a way. You're going to try to you have to try and make it through in a way that's going to be suitable for you and make it fit for you. And I feel like that's what I've tried to do with this situation. Obviously, Stronger, my single, came out as response to all of this, and it was my most well received single I've ever had. I had a couple of things go viral from that, which is just incredible. I'm just really stoked.
Yeah. I've got to say I'm a bit disappointed with your video because it's a Coyote Ugly video. And where were all the people in the bar? You had the bar emptied out. You needed the whole crowd and
I know, I know. You know what? It was with that video, like I have been quite creative, I think, what a lot of people would call it, with this new album and the marketing behind it. And I was speaking about it with, it was actually my mum, and I was like, "Oh, I love this new single, Nothing Left to Lose. And I feel like it's just so edgy. Like, what do I do for a song this edgy?" And I remember putting on Coyote Ugly that night, and I was like, this is it. This is exactly what I've got to do. And you know what? It was so much fun. I had two of my closest friends in it, and we just had a lot of fun. It was a really cool girls' day.
yeah. Well, my partner wears cowboy boots and she wears
Very
50s
cool.
dresses and things like that. So I wear loud clothes, so I stand out. So when I finally meet you, you'll know us straight away. But
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Which show were you thinking of coming to?
well, let me just have a look. I've got it all written down somewhere. I will be seeing you on the 24th of May on your final UK show at Trillions in Newcastle.
Awesome. There's so many people I know coming to that one. I'm so excited for that show. And Trillions is a great venue. Played
It
there a
isn't
couple of
it?
times.
Yeah, it's a lovely venue. So I've got your dates down here. So you've got your Monsters of Rock cruise, which is very important, and you've got to top up that tan because looking at all your TikTok videos, your Instagram videos and stuff, you don't do enough of that.
Yeah, I have a full, like, it's funny because going into this music thing, obviously, like, when I started it, social media was a thing, but not to the extent of what it is now. Like, obviously, it's, you've kind of got to be a little bit of a social media influencer in a way, just like thinking of new content to and it blows my mind sometimes. But like I said earlier, with the concepts of the different singles and stuff, generally a very creative person, so doing things like social media and stuff is really fun for me. And you know
Yeah,
um, it's a bit of a different thing. Gives me, it's a little bit of a light and shade thing for me with the music.
yeah. It's funny because social media. Um, I post on YouTube and through Metalliville online magazine as well. And I interviewed Ron Bumblebee Thal from he played with Guns N'
Uh,
Roses on their Chinese Democracy
yeah.
album, and it was such a cool interview. And he's such a cool bloke, and he's playing kazoos, he's playing his guitar, and it was just so much fun, and hardly any views. I'll do a video of what shirt to choose for a gig or an interview. 1.5 thousand views, and you're like,
I know. It's wild, isn't it? Sometimes the things when you're not thinking too much about it and you just sit and you talk to a screen, it's funny the things that, like, actually the social media algorithm picks up. It's probably listening to me right now. I'm one of those people that my phone's listening to me because sometimes I scroll and I'm like, I just mentioned macaroni and
yeah.
cheese. There's no way that that ad just came up.
Yeah,
But yeah.
exactly. It's scary. So you're touring the UK, and the Howl and Pain supporting you. 13th of May, the Carlisle Hastings. 14th, the Cavern London. 15th, Patriot Crumlin. 16th, Leo's Red Lion Gravesend. 17th, 11th, Stoke. Then you've got Fireheart supporting you on the 20th at the Crawford Crawford Arms, I can't speak, at Milton
Hmm.
Keynes. The 21st, Waterloo at Blackpool, which is the Motorhead pub, and you'll come away with some plastic motorway cups, probably
Yeah.
hidden in your handbag. Um, have you got a support for Billy Bootleggers at Nottingham?
We do. Yes, we are actually. There is a bit of an announcement. I've got two announcements actually coming next week on Monday. And one of them is going to be in regards to some supports and also some extra dates. So,
You can actually
um,
mention them because this video, because my editor, he's in America at the NAMM um, music thing. So you can
yeah.
actually mention it because it won't be out until he comes back.
So we do have the lovely bad actress on a couple of dates on the tour, which
Oh,
is really exciting.
yes.
They're very, very good guys and good friends of mine. I've played with them, I think maybe going on 3 tours now.
Yeah,
And they're just one of those bands that they're absolutely kicking ass, and I can't wait to see what they've got planned for the year too. So it just was something that fell into place really easily, and
yeah,
they were available for some dates, which is super cool. And we've also added some other dates as well, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but there aren't too many, but there are some things that are spread out. I am back and forth from the UK a couple of times this year for some special things and also doing some extra things
right.
internationally. So, like I said, it's going to be a really big year, but I'm so stoked. Yeah, it really makes me think that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, so Billy Bootleggers will be bad actress supporting you.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've just the guitarist has just left them, from what I've seen on socials.
I did see that, yes, and I really applaud him as well because I think he did it in a really professional way, and
Yeah,
it was just really lovely to see the boys get around him too. I feel like that's how you do things, in a
definitely.
band. That's what a band's about.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree with you on that. So 22nd, Billy Bootleggers Nottingham was supported by an actress. Then we're back with Fireheart on the 23rd at Bannerman's Edinburgh and the 24th, where I will be at, which is Trillions Newcastle. So,
Exactly.
and you'll get to meet my wonderful cowboy boot, beautiful lady, Tracy.
I'm excited. I'm so stoked. That'll be so much fun. Maybe I'll wear my matching cowboy boots at some point in a photo with her.
Definitely. Then you've got Made of Stone Festival with Saxon, Tail Gunner, who we mentioned earlier. Virgin Marys. I don't know if you're aware of Virgin Marys. They are fantastic,
Awesome.
absolutely
Looking forward to it.
incredible. It's two lads, and actually got signed drumsticks from them up on my wall. They're incredible live and so nice, such lovely people. I'm sure that you'll end up touring with them in the future because I think you'll love them.
Awesome.
Another band who I've got friends in called Silver Roller. They're a good band, and Ches Kane, who I saw supporting Lita Ford and Vixen, and she's got a tremendous voice. So
She
I
she
think you'll
does, and
enjoy
she's
that
a
one.
lovely girl as well. Yeah, it's so cool to be, label mates with someone that I've looked up to for so long as well. Obviously, she did the caned thing for a long time, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's very, very cool.
yeah. Um, well, we've got here. You supported Hair and Scare 'em in 2025. That's a great name.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sisters Doll in 2024. And because I've got all these notes wrote down, and you did Steelhouse Festival in 2024 with Jared James Nichols and Mr. Big and the Almighty. Did you meet Jared?
I don't know that Jared James Nichols was on that Stillhouse lineup. I could be wrong, but
Yeah,
I it was definitely I'm trying to think now. The Almighty were definitely on it, and Mr.
yeah,
Big were definitely on it. And but I have met Jared James Nichols because he is the loveliest human ever.
he is.
Um,
He's a big
yes,
cuddler.
he is very, very, very nice. I haven't met him in person, but it'll make sense as to how I've met him. in about a
Okay.
week or so. But like you
Right.
said, this podcast is sorry, this video is going to be out by then. So
Yeah.
it will be revealed that I do have a podcast now, which is really exciting.
Oh wow.
And it's called Backstage Unplugged.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm interviewing a bunch of Frontiers bands, and it's all about, you know, getting behind the scenes, behind the curtains with the artists at Frontiers. And I feel very lucky to be able to, you know, be on kind of a new venture side project with Frontiers, and it's going to be a lot of fun to speak to some artists
So you're
on
going
the
to
road.
be interviewing artists backstage then?
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a you know, a musician to musician chat. And it's something that I've really wanted to do for a long time, kind of ever since podcasting came into you know, became really popular, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to one of the ladies at Frontiers, and she thought it was a great idea. And they were thinking about a podcast at the time. So it's like a Cassidy Paris times Frontiers collaboration podcast, and it's called Backstage Unplugged. So that's my new like side venture that I'm really, really stoked about.
Oh, that sounds really cool. You're going to have to get me some contacts. I'm going to have to keep on messaging you on Facebook and saying,
Absolutely.
you spoke to Steve Harris. Have you got his email?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. It's just really exciting, you know, like a lot of the artists, like I was kind of saying with Shez before, a lot of the artists I've just been looking up to for so many years. You know, for those that are not familiar, I am quite young. I just turned 23. And a lot of these artists, I just remember, you know, they're my dad's like heroes. And to be able to speak to these people about music and, you know, everything in between it as well is just a massive privilege, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I've been looking at my notes here, and there's some of the stuff you've done from like 2023 onwards. You supported Fury with Becky Baldwin, of course, who's a fantastic bassist. Black Rose and Collateral, Dead Man's Whiskey. You did Winter Storm in 2023 with the Green Bonnet Band and Satyria. Can't speak.
Criteria,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, Cyteria. Jackie Chambers. I interviewed her a few weeks ago, and she is absolutely lovely. Did you get to meet
Yeah.
her?
Yes, I have. And I'm a big fan of Girls' School as well. So she's lovely. I met her at HRH a couple of years ago.
Yeah, she's absolutely outstanding, fantastic talent, and you've done Call of Wild in double headline show Midnight City as well. So you've done quite a lot in a short time, and like I say, for somebody so young and coming across in your music, how you're maturing, your voice, and obviously yourself as well. It's been quite a ride for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely been quite a ride. Like I obviously have been doing music for a number of years, and I remember I've been kind of doing music ever since I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I started quite young. I think I was 14 years old when I put out my first single, and kind of since then everything's kind of just been like bang, bang, bang. But it's been a lot of work. And like I was saying even before with the running, it's a constant, you know, like upkeep and trying to stay in shape and get better as a musician. Like I will never, you know, be satisfied with like a certain point or anything. I just think that getting better and you know, learning is like my massive thing for me that I want to always improve as a musician and as a person. And I just feel really excited to come back and you know, see everyone in the UK. It's going to be a really, really cool reunion.
Yeah. Um, One of my favourite things is that you've done a Pat Benatar cover.
Yes.
I should have put Pat Benatar behind me. I've got well, my partner's got loads of her albums. I could have had that
Oh,
behind me.
cool.
Um,
Awesome. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
a big Papa.
she's my partner does a fantastic version of Hit Me With Your Best Shot, which she does in jam nights and things like that. She sings it so well. And
Oh, that's
when,
so cool. I love that.
yeah,
Awesome. I'm gonna have
when,
to come see Hana play now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, when we're at Trillions, obviously, when you've all finished and that, like, you're just gonna have to drag her on stage and do a duet with her.
Yeah. Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. I'm just gonna tell her to sing on cue.
Oh yeah, yeah, she does. She's very good. Um,
Oh,
so
awesome.
you also did a Warrant cover as well. Is that sort of a band that you're massively into, or just one of those things?
Absolutely. Yeah, Warrant is another big one that have kind of just like lived in that album as well, my entire life. Like I remember my dad's ringtones over the years. He's had many ringtones. It's definitely been Warren at some point. Like it's I know like Uncle Tom's Cabin or Cherry Pie. I'm a big like Janie Lane fan. I've read the Bobby Brown book as well, which was really interesting to me too. I do all I love the rock research kind of side of things. So definitely
Yeah.
a big inspiration to me too. Great songwriter, fantastic songwriter.
Talk about musicians, songwriters. Canadian musician Paul Lane, Danger Danger. You've been
Yeah.
mentoring you since 11. How did all that happen? You're in Australia, he's Canadian. It's an
He
unusual
loves
one.
a little bit of Australian sun. I'll give him that. No, Paul is just, there's I could go on for hours about that man. He has literally been such a pillar in my life and my family's life. And even in the last year, his support and his just like words of wisdom as well. He's been around in the scene for quite some time now, and I just I try to take on everything Paul says because everything that man says is so valuable. And he'll laugh at that if he sees this, but it genuinely is like he'll be like walking on the street and like think of like the best like hook you can think of about a fish and chip shop. Like the man is so so talented. It's absolutely, it's criminal that he's not absolutely massive. Like it's so cool to be, taken on by someone like Paul because he's just a master at what he does. And I feel very, very lucky and privileged that he's one of mine and my family's good friends as well. I feel very, very grateful for that.
Yeah. Because there's also a co-writer along with Steve Brown of Trickster and Dragon Stanich from Roxas, and we've
Yeah.
got Gary Brandon from White Sister and David Julian. So you've got a few co-writers.
Hmm. Yes, we definitely do. I think for me, it's also like I was saying before, it's always about learning and evolving as an artist. And there are just so many talented musicians in the world, and I feel very lucky that I've just got to dip my toes into, some of like rock royalty, really. Like to be able to co-write a song with Steve Brown, Brand New Day, and David Julian, and then obviously Nothing Left to Lose is Steve Brown's track. I am at a loss for words that I'm able to do that. Like Trickstar for me was a band that like I remember listening to Tattoos and Misery on repeat as a kid. And that was definitely a Steve Janevsky ringtone, I can tell you that. But it's just so cool. Like Dragon from Roxas, if you're familiar with Roxas, they're a band that were absolutely huge. Where Are You Now was a massive hit in Australia. And I think they did a bit of touring of the US as well. And he is just, again, a master of what he does. So when I'm in the studio with him and writing with him or taking on ideas from him, I try to be a sponge to those type of people.
Yeah, yeah, don't blame you. So your merchandise, your
Mhm.
albums and things like that. Um, I'm assuming both your albums are available on all streaming platforms. But where else can we buy your album and your merch?
CassidyParis.com for everything. What's really cool about this new record is that we have a vinyl, which is insane. We actually have two vinyls. We have a gold and a red, and I'm pretty sure the red is almost sold out or sold out, one of the two. And we have a kit album as well,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
like a Korean like a little album. It's just so cool because I think what the record label was telling me was it was the first Kit album to be sold in Australia.
Oh
And
wow.
that just blew my mind. I was like, no way, that's so cool. We have a lot of merchandise. There's also going to be some new merchandise coming out, obviously, because of the Monsters of Rock cruise. And then
Yeah.
we've got the UK tour, and then we've got a bunch of other things that I'll be talking about online soon. So it's very, very exciting time. Obviously, the podcast, when
Yeah.
this airs, will have just launched as well. So a completely new venture for me too. So exciting times.
Well, I'm hoping the vinyl will be available when you're on tour because I'll
It will
probably
be.
buy it and get you all to sign it. So,
Yes, absolutely. You can count on it. It will be.
yeah, I'll put one aside because I don't want them to all be sold out by the time it's your last date.
All right, you can count on it. Awesome.
My at the end of the interviews, my beautiful partner Tracy, she gives me a question to ask, and
Okay, I'm
it's
excited.
basically tell us something about you that we don't already know, but I'm going to double that up. Tell us something about you and tell us something about your dad we don't know.
Ooh, that's a really good one. I actually love that question so much because it's really making me think as well. Something about me that people won't know. Um, ooh, that's really got me stumped. Um, I love my favorite food is a deep dish pizza, Chicago pizza. And I don't think anyone would really know that. I have spoken about maybe I've spoken about pizza being my favorite food, but recently in Melbourne, actually, circling back firstly, I went to Chicago and I was opening a festival there when I was, I think, 16. And I went to Chicago deep dish place. I think it's called Giordano's. Lon, shout out to you, Lon, if you're watching this. It was absolutely incredible. And Melbourne, Australia, have now got like a replica place. And I went and had the pizza the other day, and it was so good that I don't think I'm ever going to recover. So that's one thing that people might not know about me. I'm a massive foodie as well. So deep dish pizza, favorite food.
Yeah,
Something that people won't know about my dad, Steve. Hmm. Oh, Steve has, I mean, people probably might know this, but I think it's quite funny. Steve has an enormous t-shirt collection, to the point where it's actually becoming uncontrollable. Like every single time the man walks out of the house, like there's a new t-shirt. And I'm like, where did you get that from? And he was like, oh, I've had this for years. But yeah, he has a little bit of a shopping obsession with band t-shirts and just like caricature like Snoopy or Charlie Brown Peanuts
yeah, yeah.
t-shirts as well. So yeah, that's something interesting about Steve.
I've
Great,
I've got a
great
t-shirt.
question. I love that.
I've got a t-shirt I'd actually really like. It's from a band called Stop Stop. And it's
Okay.
basically a caricature of the bloke and he's bending over and he's actually shoving his head up his bottom. It's really good.
That's too good, too
I,
funny.
I can't wear it, unfortunately, when the children are here because we've got young children and, yeah, I can't wear things like that around young children.
Yes. Too
Responsible
funny.
parents here.
Exactly, exactly. That's it.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah,
Thank
when
you
you
very
when you
much.
turn up,
Thank you so much, Dale. No, I really, really appreciate that. And like I said, apologies for last week.
It's
It's been
fine.
so much fun chatting to you, and I can't wait to catch up with you and your partner at Trillions later this
Yeah.
year.
So good luck with your cruise and good luck with your up and coming tour and festival appearances. And even more good luck to your podcast. I hope that goes really well, which I'm sure it will.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Dale. All the best. See you very
Yeah.
soon.
See